Hello, and welcome to Dota Kingdom's introduction to Anti-Mage.
To avenge the fallen monastery, I will destroy every magical alliance.
Anti-Mage, otherwise known as AM, or his actual name, Magina, is an agility-based hero. He is known for his high mobility, exponential farming rate, and ability to destroy mana-dependent or intensive heroes. Anti-Mage is usually played in the role of carry. Taking to the safe lane, his rather short base attack time will allow you to precisely decapitate creeps for their gold. Anti-Mage is very gold dependent and moderately XP dependent. As such, he would generally share a lane with the support in order to protect his gold dependencies in the early game. The main stats an Anti-Mage player will look to improve with items are agility, attack speed, and maximum HP. Anti-Mage starts off with OK-ish stats, but his downside is his poor strength gain per level. Without assistance from items or supports, he can be very squishy going into the mid-game. Anti-Mage has 4 abilities at his disposal, the first of which is Mana Break. It is a passive skill that allows Anti-Mage to remove mana from a target with each right-click attack. 60% of the mana removed is added to the damage dealt by his right-click attack too, meaning if your opponent has no mana, you will not deal any bonus damage as a result of this ability. The bonus damage dealt is also physical, meaning it is blocked by an opponent's armor. It is also classed as a unique attack modifier, meaning any items providing bonuses to your right-click attack, such as lifesteal, lightning bounces, and negative armor, will not function properly. It is worth noting, Aura lifesteal from Vladimir's Offering or Vampiric Aura will function with Mana Break. This skill also works on any illusions of Anti-Mage. This ability scales rather well, with 28 mana burnt at level 1, plus an additional 12 for every skill point. As a result, this skill is generally second on your priority list for leveling up. Anti-Mage's second ability is Blink. This allows him to teleport a short distance after a short cast time. This is the key behind his mobility. It allows him to chase and flee from an engagement. It also allows him to swiftly move between the lanes and the jungle, allowing him to hoover up as much gold as he can and waste little time walking. While you're at it, you can also pick up any runes you see along the way. This skill is generally maxed first. Though its range doesn't increase much, the cooldown is significantly improved from 12 seconds to 5, meaning it is faster than most heroes that have a similar mobility styles. It is worth noting that Blink will disjoint most projectiles targeted at you, allowing you to dodge most spells and attacks with good timing. His third skill is a passive called Spell Shield. As the name suggests, it grants extra protection versus magical damage. This helps offset his poor strength gain, but means he is most vulnerable to damage from physical sources. This skill scales slightly worse than the Mana Break, but it's generally nice to have a value point in once you are around level 3 or 4. With 26 extra magic resistance, plus 8% per level, this will protect you in the early game, and render most spells pathetic in the late game. If you are in a lane that is harassing you too much to the point where you are uncomfortable and at the risk of dying repeatedly, it may be worthwhile picking up a couple extra points in this skill over Mana Break to increase your survivability. Mana Void is Anti-Mage's ultimate ability. It is the best to think of this as a finishing move. It deals damage in an AoE around the target hero you select. The damage dealt is depending on how much raw mana is missing from the selected target, making this useful once you have burnt enough of your target's mana and health down. It is also useful against certain heroes that have singular, massive cost spells. Use Mana Void on them once they have used it, and while their team is grouped up for a massive AoE nuke. The primary target of this spell is also mini-stunned, allowing you to cancel animations, teleportations, and channeled spells of your foes as well. Take care when using this ability, since it can do both so much and also so little. If a target has most of their mana, you are looking at pathetic damage and a tiny stun for a 70-second cooldown. You would generally get Mana Void at the standard levels 6, 11, and 16 for an ultimate. Each level increases the damage dealt per mana missing from an enemy. With regards as to how you play Anti-Mage, you can probably gather by now your aim is to farm. Start out in your safe lane, next to your jungle. You want Blink in level 1 for 90% of your games. Start off with a Quelling Blade, health regen, and a couple Iron Branches to make your lane easier. Don't be afraid to trade a few hits with your opponents in lane. By burning their mana with Mana Break, you reduce the risk of them showing major aggression towards you later on. You will want to farm Boots of Speed first. You will then want to upgrade these into Power Treads before moving on to your first major item. The strength from Power Treads and the attack speed is very nice here. For your first main item, it is nearly always a Battle Fury. This item gives you passive regeneration, damage, and most importantly cleave on your attacks. The damage bonus from Mana Break won't cleave, but that doesn't matter. What this item allows you to do is clear through waves of creeps and jungle camps at a rather ridiculous rate. Once you have confidence with the hero, you can skip the boots upgrade and straight up rush the Battle Fury. Your Blink combined with this item is what leads to your massive income of money. After Battle Fury, your options become a bit more open. Recommended is the Yasha into Manta Style. This gets plenty of attack speed, a bit of health, and allows you to create illusions of yourself.
Yes.
Blink on top of an enemy, pop the Manta Style to make illusions, and Mana Break away, leading to a fast, efficient kill on a lone enemy. Illusions can cleave too. Make use of these to push and harass the enemy when you can. Remember, the Manta Style will also remove any silences your enemy places on you, so if the enemy team has a silence, remember to hold back on the Manta Style usage, because otherwise you will not be able to blink. Afterwards, a sustainability item is recommended. If you are doing well, a Heart of Tarask. Not so well, a Vladimir's Offering is a cheaper alternative. If you are doing really bad, or facing a very stun-heavy lineup, don't be afraid to buy a Black King bar for that short period of immunity. You will want to keep all 3 lanes pushed as hard as you can once you have the Battle Fury up. Your teammates can take towers, and that leaves you with more space to roam and farm the jungles. But don't forget to join in the big fights when you can. More easy money is to be made here. After this, all you really need is damage, till the game reaches its conclusion. To conclude, the benefits of Anti-Mage are: he's a very mobile damage dealer, faster farming than most other carries, good versus mana-intensive heroes and intelligence heroes, and a good split pusher influencing all corners of the map, as well as a nice, fast, right-click animation. However, his downsides are: he needs his first main item to really get rolling, is poor versus stun-heavy lineups, and not the best versus physical damage. His ultimate can be considered unreliable at times, and he doesn't really man-fight well versus certain other heroes. He more cleans up for the rest of his team. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any further tips, leave them in the comments below, and thank you for watching.